So let's practice a few more problems with the variance. I'm going to copy a problem over. Alright, so this is problem number 1. Let's find the variance for the given data. And then it says round your answer. So once we get down to the final answer, we'll round to one more decimal place than the original data. So this set of data does not have a decimal, or the decimal is after the number. So that means we're just going to round our final answer to one decimal place. Now, as we're doing work, we'll carry it out a couple of decimal places more so that it won't affect the final answer. Alright. You don't want to really plug rounded answers into formulas if you can help it. So, I'm going to need a column for my data items. I'm going to sort these from least to greatest. Usually I do that whenever it's easily done. Now we have 5 data items, and this is just a sample. So this is a small sample. This is not a population or anything. So we need to figure out X bar, the mean. Alright, so we have, when we sum up all the data items, we get 59. We divide that by 5, we get 11.8. So I'm just going to write up here, X bar equals 11.8. Now, we need one column that is just the deviations from the mean for each data item. Remember, that's our X sub I minus X bar. So we need to figure that out for each data item. So we're going to have 2 minus 11.8, 11 minus 11.8, 12 minus 11.8, 16 minus 11.8, and 18 minus 11.8. Alright, so I'm going to do those in the calculator real quick, just to speed things up. That's going to be negative 9.8, then that's going to be negative 0.8, that's going to be positive 0.2, that's going to be 4.2, and that's going to be 6.2. Alright, so we want to take each one of those answers and we want to square them. Okay? So negative 9.8 squared. Negative 9.8 squared is equal to 96.04. Alright, negative 0.8 squared is equal to 0.64. 0.2 squared is equal to 0.04. 4.2 squared is equal to 17.67, and 6.2 squared is equal to 38.44. Alright, so now we need to figure out the sum of the square of the deviations. So we need to add all of those numbers together. Alright, whenever I added all of those together, I got 152.8. Now remember, what is the formula for our sample variance? Sample variance, or S squared, is equal to the sum of x sub I minus x bar squared. So what we just figured out was the numerator, and that's all over n minus 1. Okay, so here is the sum of the deviation squared, and so we're going to divide that by n minus 1. There were 5 data items, so 5 minus 1 is what we divide by. So we're going to divide by 4. Alright, whenever I get this answer, this is the one that I'm going to round to one more decimal place than the original set of data. Alright, so actually I only get one decimal point whenever I do this, so there's no rounding to really do here. I get 38.2. So our sample variance is 38.2. Alright, let's do one more of those. I'm going to pick another problem. How about we do same directions, find the variance for this set of data. This is problem number 4 out of off of the sheet that I made up. So what we need is we need a column for our data values. So 11.0, 11.7, 12.6, 16.5, 17.6. I think I may have, let's see, that's only 5. Okay, so that's right. Alright, now we're going to need to figure out the mean. Alright, so for the mean I got 13.88. Alright, so now I need to find the deviation of each data item from the mean. So I'm going to say the difference between the data item and the mean. And I'm going to leave it. It actually terminated after that second decimal, so I'm going to leave it like that. Alright, so 11.0 minus 13.88. I'm just going to write down the actual answer this time, speed things up a little. Negative 2.88. 11.7 minus 13.88. Negative 2.18. 12.6 minus 13.88, negative 1.28. Let me make sure that these line up here. Kind of got off track when I was writing this down. 16.5 minus 13.88, 2.62. 17.6 minus 13.88, 3.72. Alright, now the next column is going to be what we just figured out squared. So what that does is that makes sure that each one of these items is positive in our, because we can't get a negative standard deviation. Alright, so 2.88 squared, that's 8.2944. Negative 2.18 squared, negative 2.18 squared is 4.7524. Negative 1.28 squared is 1.6384. 2.62 squared is 6.8644. And 3.72 squared, I got 13.8384. So now I'm going to figure out the sum of all of those items. So if you will, work along with me so you can verify my answer. Alright, so when I added those up, I got 35.388. Is that what you got? Alright, so that is the numerator of my sample standard deviation formula. 35.388. That divided by the number of data items minus 1. We had 5 data items. So 5 minus 1. So we're going to divide that by 4. And then we're going to use the same directions as before. The directions said to round your answer to one more decimal place than the original data set. So we're going to round this to 2 decimal places. If you round this to 2 decimal places, you should get 8.85.